I feel disgusted. I know you do too. I don't even know what you feel disgusted about, but I'm guessing that deep inside you there's a degree of disgust. It's almost Dionysian, like you could fucking explode. And even now, there's this temple that's crushing your disgust as if it were your very body itself. I know how you feel. I get that. Today I was feeling a lot of disgust, but I want to go over two things with you before I touch the temple of my disgust. The temple inside the temple. As you can see, I've got one button. I've been doing some push-ups. I've got 13 now. And I have a little bit of chest hair. Kind of like I want to say a badge for my... What else? Oh, my left nipple is quite hard, actually, because it's cold outside. So what I'm saying to you is that even though we're very disgusted with certain things deep inside of ourselves, there's other things about our existence that are actually quite beautiful, quite ecstatic, quite worthy of celebration, whether it be a frozen nipple, some chest hairs, my blossoming chest, pectorals, any of those things. We can kind of clutch into the side of the cliff and climb up to the top with these wonderful little attributes of existence that spontaneously flourish across the domain of existence. And we can also feel our disgust. And I wanted to film even 30 minutes before I did start filming, maybe even 45 minutes, but I was running around the house trying to find my magic cap. Alaska. This is my dad's cap. I don't know how often he wore it, but it's my magic cap. And if I don't put it on at least once a day, then I feel disenfranchised. There are certain things that I can't do if I don't have this cap on. And I would put this cap on now, but I think everything would just go up in light. There would be an explosion and my disgust would evaporate. But I want to stay with my disgust. My disgust has to do with the fact that I am actually so dependent on this cap. I'm disgusted with myself. Right? When I don't have this cap on and I'm walking around in a thrift store or at a cafe or just talking to somebody, I'm half the man that I would be if I had this cap on. Think about that for a second. I'm half the man I would be without this cap. When I first put this cap on, I was looking for portable hard drives, external hard drives at a Staples or an Office Depot or an Office Max. They're really the same. All of them are really the same front for wealthy people who just need a storefront for laundering money, because if you go into any Office Max, if you go into any Office Depot, if you go into any Staples, you'll notice something. There are no people there. So how is this store actually existing? And you could go into these stores every day for years and you would never see people. And you're like, is this just a storefront for an online operation, or is just a storefront for a front of money laundering? So that's what I think about when I go into these places. But anyways, it was a magical experience because I had on my cap. Whoa. That cap almost fell off the table. I found that cap earlier under my bed after I had searched throughout the house for it. I was a little desperate, I'll be honest with you. I was feeling disgust, not only because I wasn't wearing my cap, I was feeling disgust because I had fucking lost my cap. So let's return to the disgust. And the first time I wore my cap, I was coming out of the Office Max, Office Depot, Staples, whatever the fuck it is, and someone was like, "Oh my god, I love your hat. Are you from Alaska?" I'm like, "No, I'm not from Alaska. It's my dad's old cap, and I was wearing it to, cover my head." And she's like, "Oh, because I have family in Alaska," and we started talking, and it was just a little connection with a stranger, and it's gone forever. I don't hold on to it. There's no grab. It was so nice. It was a blissful dosage of connection, and it was because of my cap. So in that moment, I learned. It's like the baseball players who don't. They had their best game. They went 4 for 4 and hit 2 home runs and stole a base and had a few assists, and they're like, "I gotta wear my dirty socks from now on." So it's the same way. Anyways, so I wear the cap now. Ever since that magical moment with that stranger at Staples, I wear the cap. And if I don't wear the cap, then I do feel disgust at everything. Everything. Because as you know, with, for example, this fake news operation against fake news, where you get double the trouble, you're like, well, what can I trust in this mad world? Right? I can't trust mainstream news media, and I don't feel like I can trust independent media and alternative research. But what's really beautiful about this, and I've almost got my hat on, because I'm almost going to go there with you, but I'm going to put it back down. What's really amazing is it's really up to you. Right? See, what this is exposing, all these fake news about fake news, is that it's really up to you. You're the one who's got to research. Now, you can't depend upon anything. Right? You really can't. You know that you cannot depend on Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and BBC and Al Jazeera and all that bullshit. You know you can't depend on that. Because you know that they're all the ministry of propaganda of the elite. Either they're trying to fill your mind with certain content, or they're trying to get your mind on a certain page, and they're really trying to do both. So that we're all fucking focused on that TV screen or that computer screen. And guess what happens when we're all just focused on a screen? It doesn't even matter what's on the screen, because we are riveted to our seats and we are fully under control. That's what it's about. So if we started to do our own research, what would we find? Well, we might still be riveted to our seats. That's true. I will give you that. But we'll start to see why we are riveted to our seats. Why we just can't get up and be Dionysian. We'll always refer to our Dionysian aptitude, that explosive detonation, the fucking magical cap! We will refer to these things with our Apollonian intellects. We will refer to freedom. We will reference freedom. It will always be a fabulous idea. Oh, what a great idea. As I'm riveted to my seat, I dream of being free. I dream of being free, but I have no idea what that means. In fact, someone like myself, when I put my cap on, and it's like coming down, and it's almost tears. I can't quite do it. I can't quite put my cap on. I can't do it. Oh man, I'm like in the military, or at baseball games, I put my cap on and I just dream of freedom. I say the Pledge of Allegiance. And I dream of freedom, but it's always just a dream. That's funny. This cap will be the death of me, the end of me. When I put this cap on, which I can't do now, because I'm not even sure the energy from me would, like, go into the camera and short circuit it. Like, all the circuits would go. When I put this on and I walk around in this world, I talk to people. I say, hey, how are you? You look beautiful today. How are you? I see you. I feel you. And all that nonsense that I was reading about on my computer screen or seeing in my TV, all that stuff that gets between us. Hey baby, put it on. Put it on. And we have a real moment of intimacy. A real connection. And we actually feel in the molecularity of our body-mind a freedom. A freedom that is not mediated by external forces, intermediaries, or constantly saturating our mind with superfluous information that divides human beings from human beings. Whoa, when I put on my cap, 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 it's like, whoa! It blocks all the incoming electro smog that is dazzling my brain and blitzing it and confounding it, disorienting it and discombobulating it. I put on my cap. I almost lost this cap. It was under my bed today. And I was almost consigned to a lifetime of disgust because I wasn't wearing my cap. But when I put on this cap, disgust is not who I am.